Okay, this next thing is about totally different than what we've been doing. It's about trig functions. You have three basic trig functions, the three most common. You got sine, that's opposite over hypotenuse. Cosine is opposite over adjacent, then tangent's opposite, or adjacent over, cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse, and tangent is opposite over adjacent. Okay, now on this paper, here's what I'm going to write. I'm going to write sine, cosine, and tangent. Okay. Sine is the opposite over the hypotenuse. I'm going to circle that. So, cosine is the adjacent over the hypotenuse. Ca. And then tangent's the opposite over the adjacent. So, ca, toa. SOHCAHTOA. If you took geometry, you had that. Okay, now here's the directions for the first set of examples. Find the three trig ratios of the reference angle. Okay, now these aren't drawn perfectly. I had to work hard just to get them. So here's the first triangle. Yeah, first off, I didn't know how to insert a right angle there. That's always your right angle right there, 90 degrees. We know this side's 3, this side's 4, and then right here it says reference angle. To do your reference angle, you'd make a circle and you kind of make a little oval shape through it. That's called the theta symbol. Okay, that's where you put your reference angle. Okay, so you have it drawn out, and here's what you have to do. You got to find what the sine is, what the cosine is, and what the tangent is. Okay, now remember, sine is opposite over hypotenuse. Cosine is adjacent over the hypotenuse, a over h, and the tangent's opposite over the adjacent. So basically, we have to come up with the three ratios. Now here's how you just tell what side's what. Okay, put your pencil on the 90-degree angle, go across, that's your hypotenuse. Put your pencil on wherever that theta circle's at, go across from that, that's your opposite. So the opposite's 3. We don't know the hypotenuse. Then the last side's A. I always go H, O, A, just like that. Now, you only know 2 of the sides. Well, to find the third side, all you need to do is the Pythagorean Theorem. It's a to the second plus o to the second equals h to the second. And that's every single time it's like that. So the a is 4, so I have 4 to the second. The o is 3, 3 to the second, and the h we don't know. It's what we don't, that's the unknown. So raise these each to the second, you're going to end up with 16 plus 9. Now, these are on the same side, these two numbers, so you just add them together, you get 25 equals h to the second, and then you find the square root of 25, which is 5, so h is 5. Okay. So just put 5. Alright, now you can get your answers. O over h, so O is 3, h is 5, so 3/5 is the sine. Okay. Cosine A over h, so that's 4/5. Tangent, that's O over A, so it's going to be 3 over 4. Those are your answers. So you type up on the document sine equals 3 over 5, cosine equals 4 over 5, and then tangent equals 3 over 4. That's what you type. You type this and then these right here. Okay, next problem. Same thing. First you got to draw it. You got 15, 17. There's the right angle's always at square, and then the reference angle's up here. So put that little circle with the line through it here. So you have to find the sine, the cosine, and the tangent. Remember, sine is OH, cosine's A over H, and tangents O over A. So we got to come up with what values those are. So go across from the 90 degrees, there's your H, hypotenuse is 17. Now put your pencil on the theta sign. That's O. So O is 15, and then the A is unknown. So I use the Pythagorean Theorem, but don't use A squared plus B squared equals C squared, because then you won't know what side's what. Use A to the second plus O to the second equals H to the second. So A is the one we don't know, so A to the second. O is 15, 15 to the second, and H is 17 to the second. Okay, so I don't know the A. Then I go 15 times 15, that's going to be 225. 17 times 17 is 289. Okay, then I minus 225 from both sides because they're not, they got to get them on the same side. So A to the second equals, that's 64. And then the square root of 64 is 8, so A is equal to 8. So I put an 8 there. So sines O over H, so 15 over 17. Cosines A over H, 8 over 17. And then tangents over A, 15 over 8. So those are your answers. Sine equals 15 over 17, cosines 8 over 17, tangents 15 over 8. And that's what you type, this and this. And we did this in Algebra 1. Okay, the last one of this section. So 9, 14, reference angles up here. And I got to find the sine, which is O over H every time. The cosine is A over H. And the tangent is O over A. So you got to come up with the numbers. We know two of them. So the H is 14. Here's my reference angle right here. The RA stands for reference angle. So it's up here. I don't know how to type that symbol in. So O, and that's A. So across from the right angle is your H. Across from the reference angle is your O, and then A. So A squared plus O squared equals H squared. So A is 9 to the second. O we don't know. And H is 14 to the second. So 9 times itself is 81. And then 14 times 14 is 196. Again, you got to get these on the same side together, so you would subtract. And that's 105. So O to the second equals 105. And then I find the square root of 105 on a calculator. Okay. I'll use a phone calculator. Because that's what square root, that's that key, 105. Okay, 10 round to the nearest hundred, 10.25. So O is approximately 10.25. Okay, so sines O over H, so 10.25 over 14. Okay, cosines A over H, so it's 9 over 14. And the tangents O over A, so 10.25 over 9. Okay, so that's that. Now, not too hard, we've done that before. Now, scroll down. Now, the next four are different. You got to find the 3 side lengths and the 3 angle measurements of the triangle. You're given one side and then one angle. So draw your, I'm going to do one problem per page. Okay, so you got 15 units here, and then just put 28 degrees here. And you have to find the three sides and the angles. Now, this is what you're going to, these are your answers, okay? The angles are easy. The sides are what can be tough. The only side you know is 15, okay? Put O equals, A equals, H equals, so you can distinguish the sides. So the H we don't know. Now I use 28 degrees as my reference angle, okay? So RA equals 28 degrees. So I go, that's going to be my O, and I don't know that, but I know my A is 15, so my A is 15. Now, how do you find the O and H? You can't use the Pythagorean Theorem. That only works when you know two of the sides. So here's what you're going to do. You're going to find O, you need to find O, and you need to find H. You're going to set up proportions. And in front of on each proportion on the top, you're going to make a parentheses, and you're going to put that degree, the reference angle, 28 degrees. Now, you're finding the O and the H. Now, you know the A, okay? So we need to put the A with those. And also another thing I forgot to do at the beginning of the problem, you need to write your trig function. Sine is O over H, cosine is A over H, and tangent is over A. You should have done that at the beginning of the problem. I forgot to. So if I'm doing OA, here's OA, that's the tangent function. So you put tan in front of it and you put a 1 on the bottom, okay? Now H and A is the cosine function, so it's cosine over 1. So that's the first part of the proportion, okay? Again, we want to find O, we want to find H, but we know A. Put the known side, and you put your reference angle 28 degrees. O and A would be tangent over 1, and then A and H is cosine over 1. Now tangent, here's what you do. You line up O over A, and cosine, line up your A over H. That's why you want that up in the corner. Now you have your A, so you get rid of the A in each proportion and put 15. And then you cross multiply and divide. So here's my variable. So I find this product here. I take tan 28 times 15, and most phones calculators allow you to do that, okay? So here's tan, and then a parentheses comes up, you put 28, close it, times 15. Okay, hold on a second. One thing you need to do is get this out of radians and into, it should say degrees, okay? Okay, so it's got to be degrees. DEGS to be, radians should be, RAD should be blocked out. So tan 28 times 15, there, that looks more like it, 7.98. Now I would divide by 1, it's still 7.98. So O equals 7.98. Okay, now over here, here's the H. So first, I multiply this diagonal. 1 times 15 is 15, and then I take 15 divided by cos 28. It's got to be divided like that, okay? So 15 on top first, and then divided by cos 28. So I divide 15 by cos 28. Okay, 16.99. So H is equal to 16.99. And those are your sides. Okay, now your angles. Well, you have a 90-degree angle, and you have 28 degrees. Now a triangle has to have, any triangle, if it's right or not, has to have 180 degrees total. And then you just subtract the 90 and the 28. And that's going to be 62 degrees. Okay, so that's the answers you type in, sides, angles. Okay, so before you start any of these problems, you're going to want to write your trig functions, okay? So sine O over H, cosine A over H, tangent O over A. Okay, so in the next problem, we have our triangle. The hypotenuse is 8 units, and then we have 32 degrees as the reference. So we have to find the sides and the angles. Sides are the hardest, okay? O, A, H. Okay, so what do I know? Well, I know my H is 8, so I'll put 8 for the H. I use 32 as my reference. The O, we don't know the O, so we'll have to find that. And then the A, we don't know, so we'll have to find that. Okay. So I use proportions. And I put in parentheses 32 degrees. And I put a 1 underneath it. Okay, so I'm finding, oh, I need to use H in both because we have a number we can put in for H. Okay, so O and H would be sine. A and H is cosine. Okay, so sine is O over H. Cosine is A over H. Now I have the number for the H, so that we don't need the H anymore. We'll just put 8. Okay. Okay, and then I cross multiply. Here's my variable, the O. So I multiply the other one. I take sine 32 times 8 on a calculator. Okay, 4.24. And then I would divide by the outside factor 1. That's still 4.24, so O is 4.24. Okay, now the A, here's A, so I multiply again. Cos 32 times 8, cos 6.78 divided by 1 is 6.78, so A is 6.78. Okay, sides, and then your angles, you have 90, you have 32. And then you know the side, they have to match up to 180, so minus 90 minus 32. That's going to be 58, so 58 degrees. So those are the answers. Okay, next one. We have right triangle, and we have 14 units and 17 degrees right there. Small angle there. So sine O over H, cosine A over H, and the tangent is the O over the A. So you got to find the sides. You have to find the angles. Okay. Sides O, A, and H. Okay. So what do I know? Well, I don't know my H. I use 17 as my reference angle. That's your O. You don't know that either. And A is 14. So I'm finding O and I'm finding H. And also you can't use 90 as your reference angle. Your reference angle has to be one of the other two. Okay, so 17 degrees. 17 degrees. And then I know my A, so I'm going to put OA, HA. So if I'm doing O and A, if I'm finding O but I know A, I want to use OA, the tangent. That's O over A. And then H and A would be the cosine, but remember that's not H over A, it's A over H. Okay. Now get rid of your A's and replace them with the value 14. And then you're pretty much good to go. So you're looking for your O, so you multiply that, tan 17 times 14. Okay. So tan 17 times 14. 4.28 divided by 1 would still be 4.28. And that's your O. Okay, so 4.28. Okay, now to find the hypotenuse. Okay, h is here, so I want to find this product going this way. 1 times 14 gives me a product of 14. And when you divide, it's got to be that product on top and then cos 17 on the bottom. And that's what your h equals. So 14 divided by cos 17, 14.64. So there's your hypotenuse. And then your angles are 90, 17, and then 180 minus 90 minus 17 is 73. Okay, got one more. Okay, my next triangle, we've got 8.5 units and 54 degrees. So I want to use 54 as my reference angle. Okay. So sine O over H, cosine A over H, and tangent O over A. Okay. So we got to find the sides, and we have to find the angles. So sides O, A, and H. So the H, don't know it. The O we know is 8.5, so we have the O. Don't have the A. Okay, so we need to find the A and the H using the proportions. So A is with O, because I know O, and H also needs the O in it. Okay, so I make the parentheses and I put the degrees, 54 degrees. Put 1 under it. Okay, AO is the tangent function. And remember, that's O over A. H and O, that's going to be the sine function. That's O over H. Okay, so we need to get rid of the O's and replace them both with 8.5. Okay, so you're going to multiply there. That's 8.5. So we divide that product by the outside, the factor diagonal from the variable. So tan 54. By the way, if you have one of these calculators on you, 8.5 divided by tan 54, just like on the phone. So 6.18. So A is 6.18, and then H, the product's 8.5, and that's divided by the outside factor, which is sine 54. So 8.5 divided by sine 54, 10.51 is your H. Okay, then the degrees, you got 90, you got 54, and 180 minus 90 minus 54 is 36 degrees. Okay, that's that part. Okay, now the last part, you're gonna have to go to you're gonna have to do a search with me if you don't have this kind of calculator, because it won't do it on your phone. Okay, you need to Google Trig function calculator. And you're gonna go to the 5th one, Trig function calculator. Not this one, not this one, not this one, not this one. You're going to go to this one, okay? Or not that one, that one's terrible. Okay, not the 5th one, okay? Or actually, hold on a second. Okay, let's just start the problem here, then we'll go to it. Sorry, that was bad on my part. Find the measurement of the reference angle. So what you have here, there's only one answer you got to put. You got your reference angle. Remember, RA, put that little circle. 15 and 22. And you have to find out what that angle equals. Okay? So put the little circle with the line kind of through it. That's your job here. Find out how many degrees are in that angle. So here's what you do. You need to do your H, O, and A. Okay, so sine is O over H, cosine's A over H, and tangent is O over A. So H, I know that H, so I'm going to circle that. And now I put my pencil here. And I know my O, I circle that. This is my A, but I don't know it. I want to use the two sides I know. So if I know O and I know H, I would want to use sine. So here's what you do. You put sine and then parentheses and then just put that circle, the theta symbol, equals, and sine's O over H. Well, you know O is 15 and you know H is 22. Now here's what you do to figure this out, okay? If you have one of these calculators, it's pretty easy. What you do then is put just theta equals. Now to move sine over here, you put sine and you put a -1 behind it. And in parentheses, you put 15 over 22. Okay? So you know that the sine of whatever that is 15 over 22. Okay? So to find the angle, you go move the sine over here and it's -1. Now if you have a calculator like this, you go second and then hit sine, second sine, 15 divided by 22. Okay, so it'd be 43 degrees. Now, if you don't have that kind of calculator, you're going to have to go to inverse trig function calculator. Go to inverse trig function calculator. Inverse trig function. Go to the third one, inverse trig function calculator, because that's what that is when you do a -1. Okay, do the third one. It's kelson.casino or whatever. Okay, then you have to scroll down. Okay, now you wanted to do sine, so on this little engine here, you do what's called a sine. It's called arc sine. Okay. And then you cross that out and you put parentheses 15 divided by 22. Okay, in the second box. Now hit execute. And there's the degrees right there. Okay, right here. Degrees is 43. Okay, sorry that took a little bit longer. Okay, next one. Okay, I'm going to do the next one so I keep the stuff up there. So I got 8 here, 17 here, and right there's my reference angle. So I have to figure out how many degrees are in that reference angle. So H I don't know, so I don't want to use anything with H. I know my O is 18 and I know my A is 17. So O and A, when we know O and A, we want to do tangent. Okay, so tan, parentheses, just put the theta symbol, equals O over A. So my O is 8 and my A is 17. Now to find what the measurement of the angle, we move the word tangent over here and it becomes -1, 8 over 17. Now on this calculator you just go second tan and then 8 divided by 17. But some of you don't have that calculator, so you click on that arrow right there. Okay. Remember, I'll show you again. It's the third inverse trig calculator search. Click on the third one. And we want to do tangent, arc tangent. Okay, so you want to go a tan right there, the third one. You'll either be using one of the first 3. You would want to use the third one because it's tangent. And then you want to, for the x, you put 8 divided by 17. 8. Or in parentheses, 8 divided by 17. Close parentheses. I don't know if you need the parentheses or not, but okay, right there you can see the degrees. It's 25.2. Just put 25. Okay. Alright, next one. Reference angles here, right angles here, and you got 12 and you got 40. And you got to find out, your job is to find out how many degrees that angle is. Okay, H. Well, I know H. I want something with H. And by the way, sine. You want to write this over every problem. Cosine, tangent. Okay, then O. Don't know O, so nothing with O is going to work. And then A. So I need AH. So AH would be using the cosine. So cos of the angle equals A over H. Okay, so the A is 12 and the H is 40. You don't need to reduce that. Don't do that. So to find the angle itself, you move the cosine function over here, -1 and 12 over 40. So on the calculator, you go second cos 12 divided by 40. If you're using that website, remember you want cosine, arc cosine, the second one, because you're using cosine. And then clear that and just go 12 divided by 40. Okay, 72.5, you can round up to 73. Okay, then the last one. You got 20 units, 35 units, and then inside you obviously got your right angle, and then the RA is right there. So you got to find how many degrees that angle has. So H, I know H, and I know O. I don't know A, so I can't use anything with A. So O and H is what I want, okay? So O and H, I would use the sine function. So sine of theta equals O over H. Okay, so that means the O, we know the O is 20 and we know the H is 35. So theta equals, move the sign over here, -1, 20 over 35. So you can go second sine if you have a scientific calculator with you, or you can go to that calculator and you're using sine, so you do the top one, arc sine, and you need to do 20 over 35. So 20 divided by 35. Hit execute, and 35 degrees.